Palestinian civil defense is urgently calling for international assistance to access northern Gaza, where Israeli forces are reportedly obstructing the delivery of vital medical supplies and equipment. Spokesperson Mahmoud Basal told Al Jazeera about the dire need for help, stating, "We call on the world to work to enable the civil defense to reach the northern Gaza Strip." Amid intensified bombardments, at least 23 Palestinians have lost their lives, with over half of the casualties occurring in northern regions. Local residents accuse Israel of ethnic cleansing through aerial and ground offensives aimed at displacing populations to establish buffer zones. In the United Kingdom, a Palestinian solidarity group, Palestine Action, staged a protest at the University of Manchester where they removed sculptures of Israel's first president, 𝐒𝐭𝐲𝐬. This demonstration coincided with the anniversary of the Balfour Declaration, which supported the establishment of a Jewish homeland in Palestine. The protesters condemned the UK's historical and ongoing role in what they described as the colonization and occupation of Palestine. The local police classified the incident as a burglary, while the Jewish Representative Council condemned the actions, labeling Palestine Action as criminals. On Saturday, Iranian demonstrators gathered outside the former US embassy in Tehran to commemorate the 1979 hostage crisis, which significantly impacted US-Iran relations. Following the Islamic Revolution led by Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini, students stormed the embassy, taking 52 staff members hostage for 444 days. Protesters chanted "Death to Israel, Death to America" and burned flags, a tradition maintained annually since the crisis began. Tensions have escalated in the region amid the ongoing Gaza conflict following a surprise attack by Hamas on Israel in October. In retaliation, Israel has launched airstrikes on Iranian military sites, warning Tehran against retaliation. Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei promised a severe response to any aggression from Israel and the United States, stating that they would face a tool-breaking response. This rally comes just days before the US elections, where Republican Donald Trump faces off against Democrat Kamala Harris, adding another layer of complexity to the already strained US-Iran relations. In a significant development, the legal fraternity, journalists, and politicians have expressed a mix of relief and skepticism over the recovery of Intizar Hussain Panjutha, the lawyer of PTI chairman Imran Khan, who had been missing since October 8. Punjab police reported that Panjutha was rescued from kidnappers in Adak, but PTI officials are demanding accountability, suggesting a scripted narrative behind his return. Meanwhile, Lahore is taking drastic measures to combat severe pollution, closing primary schools for a week to protect children from hazardous smog levels, which have exceeded 1,000 on the Air Quality Index. This closure is part of a broader initiative to address health risks associated with toxic air, which poses grave threats especially to vulnerable populations like children. Officials urge that masks be mandatory in schools and additional measures are being enforced, including restrictions on certain vehicles and outdoor activities for school children. Over 400,000 undocumented Afghan nationals have returned to Afghanistan since the Pakistani government initiated a crackdown on illegal immigrants on 1st November. Following a set deadline for voluntary return, officials noted that while the pace of repatriation slowed, it continued steadily. The UNHCR has called on Pakistan to maintain its supportive stance towards asylum seekers, warning that forced returns could have serious implications amid ongoing human rights issues in Afghanistan. Thousands of women gathered in Washington on Saturday, just 3 days before Election Day, to show their support for Democratic candidate Kamala Harris and her emphasis on reproductive health care access. Abortion rights are a key issue in Harris's campaign against Republican Donald Trump, and demonstrators at the annual Women's March echoed this sentiment with signs reading, "Voting prevents unwanted presidencies and a woman's place is in the Oval Office." With approximately 15,000 attendees, speakers rallied the crowd at Freedom Plaza, chanting Harris's campaign slogan, "We're not going back."